What do you think climate change is?
What do I think about climate change? I think it's something that we have to be aware of, because if we're not, then it could potentially lead to a bigger problem. I don't know a whole lot of factual information about climate change.
I think climate change is a large, complex system which can be affected by different things.
Do you feel it's affecting us?
Climate change is affecting us. Sometimes it's subtle, so it's easy to forget or not realize or not notice, but that there are subtle things about when the birds migrate or how much snow falls or weather variability, extreme weather events like storms. So if you're tuned in and paying attention, the signs are all around.
I feel it is affecting us because it is warming up the earth.
How do you think it's going to be in the future?
It's going to be worse. I think that the changes will be so obvious that you can't ignore them anymore.
Everything will reduce CO2. It's going to be possible.
We can, absolutely. We need to push it, but it needs to be institutional change. You know, all cars, all energy. Right now for the presidential debates that happened between Mitt Romney and Obama, there was nothing that talked about like renewable energy. They both champion like coal energy, you know?
Do you know how you contribute to climate change?
How I contribute to climate change? Probably don't recycle as much as I should. I drive a big truck.
Only my personal everyday choices contribute in small ways. In terms of the food I eat and the carbon emissions from the car I drive, I try and bike as much as I can and take public transportation, but those everyday choices, the biggest thing I do is I fly in airplanes. I really value seeing my family and they live far away, so I do fly, and that's a huge carbon impact.
All considering a bit older, we probably contribute quite a bit more than we think, but probably substantially less than some other cities.
Climate change is a long-term shift in the weather. The weather has been changing throughout history. It has been changing most recently due to anthropogenic greenhouse gases that we produce using fossil fuels that release CO2, methane, and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Climate change affects the weather, which in turn affects seasons in which food can be produced. It also affects what clothes we wear at different times of the year and what we do for fun. Here in Colorado, climate change affects our snowfall, our water resources, and much more. With higher temperatures and more wildfires, it is affecting livestock, how wild animals are surviving, and some people have even lost their homes. Evidence shows that increases in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, higher temperatures, and higher sea levels are already occurring, and in the future we can only expect this trend to continue. By the year 2100, the global average temperature is expected to warm at least twice as much as it did during the last 100 years. Temperature increase is going to have an effect all over the planet. It's going to result in coral extinction, in reefs overgrown by algae. Few ecosystems will be able to adapt. This is a process that used to take 1,000,000 years and is now happening in only a couple hundred. And we know that this is because of human causes. People contribute by using cars, planes, transportation of food and goods. All of these things warm our planet by using fossil fuels which produce greenhouse gases. We are so used to our style of living that we don't realize how it is impacting our planet.